Hey, what's happening everyone? I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and for this video I'm here to give you guys my initial thoughts of what we have learned and seen so far for the upcoming Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which will be releasing on October 23rd of this year. First off, I just want to go ahead and recap some of the information just so everyone's up to date, and that way if you missed anything, you're pretty much up to date with what we know so far. First off, the official name is, of course, Assassin's Creed Syndicate instead of what we thought was going to be called Assassin's Creed Victory. This game will be taking place in London and will feature two playable characters where you have Jacob and Evie Frey. Next up is that this game will not have any multiplayer, no co-op options at all, meaning that this is a single player only game. And that's pretty much the information we have so far. And of course, there's collector's editions and other items that you can go ahead and pre-order starting today. Again, I have videos up on my channel if you want to see that. Now let's go ahead and start with transportation. In the game they showed two ways of transportation. Well, during the gameplay they showed one, but they've also mentioned another one. The one that they showed during the gameplay was using the carriage to basically get to your location, and he went on to state that you could use the carriage to many different techniques. One, you could use it to take out enemies by running them over, you could use it towards stealth elements, or you could be using it to adding to the parkour elements within the game, thus increasing the overall abilities of what you can do in the game, which I thought was pretty cool. One of the things I did notice is that during the carriage chase is that your carriage is able to take on damage. However, I'm not sure exactly what happens once your carriage is fully damaged. Do you basically just die right there, or does your character jump onto the horse and basically you take the horse while the carriage gets demolished? I don't know which aspects that they're going to incorporate, but if they do the second option where you jump onto the horse instead and go from there, I think that'd be a pretty cool mechanic if they just decide to do something like that. Next up is the train. Again, we didn't really see anything with the train besides what they showed during the gameplay trailer, but basically he stated that you could use the train for the same situation. Well, besides running people over, is that you can fight on the train, you can get to your locations faster, and of course ride it around the city as well, and use it to your parkour advantages. So overall, that's what we got for transportation. Up next is gadgets. They did introduce a couple of the gadgets. One of them is not really particularly new because we've seen it once before, which is a throwing knife to be able to take out your targets. And we also have some returning gadgets, which most of you may be familiar with, like the hidden blade, the darts where you're able to, make the opposing, the enemies to go berserk and stuff like that and turn against their own. But they've also introduced this pretty cool new mechanic, which is kind of similar to Batman grappling gun, which is like a rope dart, which you're able to scale buildings a lot faster. And of course, what's nice about this is that if you need to go from one rooftop to the next, but it's not in jumping distance, you could also use it as a zipline technique, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course, if you have any targets below you, you'll be able to drop down and take them out during stealth. Now, another cool aspect that they added, which I think was pretty cool, because every time I play an Assassin's Creed game and you're running around the city loaded with weapons, or you have just your hood on, you look suspicious upon the crowd. I mean, everyone should pretty much be looking at you and questioning you, but you never see that. Here, what they did with this game is that there's a couple little mechanics here. One is like a blending option where you have your top hat on, and you're basically blending with the overall crowd in the area. However, when you're about to go on a mission, you could activate stealth mode, where he basically takes off his top hat, puts over his hood, and now he's ready. Now you have him in his Assassin's Creed gear, which I thought was pretty clever. So it's pretty cool that they added that mechanic. Now, I don't know if there's going to be an option where you could change like the suits that he has and wears in the game, kind of like the options that we had in Assassin's Creed Unity. We have yet to learn about that, so hopefully this upcoming E3 we should have learned a little bit more. And of course, also too, as a melee weapon, you also have brass knuckles, which you'll be able to hear and feel the impact as you beat upon your opponents. And speaking beating on people, most of the targets have always been facing against male characters, and you never really go up against any female characters. Well, now you also have the option to beat up female characters within the game, and there's probably going to be, a couple people that's going to be like, oh no, feminists and things like that, but you know what, who really cares? Because I think it's pretty cool that they've added it. Now you have groups of male and females fighting on one side, and you're able to beat them both up, so it's pretty cool. They also have this gang setup where you're able to go and capture territories, and basically the workers that are controlled under the Templars, you get to have working by your side. And there's a whole new mechanic. They didn't go too much into it, but we should learn a little bit more at E3. But based on what I've seen here, just a little bit of Mao, I'm actually really excited, and I think this one's going to turn out a lot better. I know there's a lot of people who are still upset from the release of Assassin's Creed Unity. Now for me, when I had the game, in this case early release of it, I didn't have most of the initial issues that people had with Assassin's Creed Unity, only at one time where my character fell through the map, and I was looking up and basically it's just a groundbreaking glitch, and most of the time the co-op section seemed to be broken from my end. But for me, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Unity, though I feel like them trying to also focus on co-op and things like that kind of, messed it up altogether, and especially adding the whole Uplay option. But here, seeing how it's only a single player focused game, I feel like that this game is going to have a much more smoother launch and should hopefully fix some of the issues that people have had with Unity within this upcoming title. But I can't wait to see where this whole brother and sister issue goes and how the situation is handled, and to see where the overall story takes us. But just so far, everything that I've seen thus far looks really cool. But what do you guys think? I mean, what are your thoughts about this? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And for those of you who are going to be asking, would I be getting this game early just like I did with Unity? I'll just have to wait and see until that month arrives to try to get a copy courtesy of Gamerfuzion. But until then, I am Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, where we empower your gaming.